Let's see. All right,
Hell
we
yeah.
are live. I don't know
Hell
if
yeah.
anybody's watching, but we're going to talk like everyone is watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, all right, so welcome everyone to the first ever live edition of Geeks of the Roundtable. Of course, my name is Ren, and I'm here with my co-host Zach Pope. It's like 7:30 a.m. in Arizona. How you doing, my friend?
I've been up since 6:30 pretty much. Got got some homework done, got more to do today, and a lot more shit's probably dropping today. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be like this. I already know. The second we're done with this, like I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna prep, I'm gonna eat a little, and then I'm gonna look at my phone and be like, oh, the Snyder Cut got announced. Oh, a Disney Plus trailer went up. Oh, so lots of videos are coming out today. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I like doing this, and I'm sure for you it'll be the same thing if you're awake.
Yeah, I'm good, dude. It's like middle of the afternoon here. It's 3:30 p.m., so we're all good. Scott Clune is here. Jordan Morgan is here. Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here, first of all. And I say, Zach, we just get on started with the
Yeah,
news.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so first, and I know you don't watch this show, but we got to talk about something I think
Hey, I
unprecedented.
was at the premiere at San Diego
Okay.
Comic-Con when Batwoman came out. I was there at the premiere. I was at the very
Wow.
first showing for it.
Okay, so you did see the premiere episode,
Yeah.
the first episode. Okay.
Yes.
So later yesterday in the evening, at least in the evening for me, the news came out that Ruby Rose is dropping out of the, I guess at this point, iconic role of Batwoman. She's been in the crossovers in two of them. In fact, she has her own show. She is not coming back for season 2. And they've already confirmed that they're going to recast her role. They already confirmed that they're looking for someone who's an LGBTQ actor specifically, which I'll get into that in a bit. But I got two thoughts on this. One of them, it sucks that someone is losing a job, and it was her decision. So
Yep.
she must have had pretty big reasons to quit on the role. Though quit isn't the correct word, but whatever. The other one is I cannot wait to see who they cast, because the one thing I've been having against this show, unfortunately, is that she can't act. I just don't buy her. I just don't buy her, dude. She's a model that came into acting, and I always have a problem against it. She was the weakest part of John Wick Chapter 2 for me. I mean, it's just tough, especially because she is the main actress of her own show. So
Yeah.
it kind of constantly sucked to have her as the emotional drive of the story. But what do you think?
Okay, so when I saw that first episode, I
Mhm.
said, okay, this was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I actually didn't mind her in the role personally.
Okay.
I've only seen one episode. Maybe I've seen glimpses of a couple other, but I've really only seen one episode. I don't hate her as an actress. I actually think the best she's actually ever been in. And this is counts Orange is the New Black, which I'm not a fan of either.
I never seen that though.
She's not bad in Meg. She's actually not that bad in Meg. She's
Really?
actually
Okay.
one of the better parts in Meg, to be completely honest. And I mean, that's not saying much. I mean, obviously, but for me personally, so one, I just don't give a shit about these CW shows. I've told you, like I've tried. I was
Yeah.
really into Flash, really into Arrow, and to be honest, I really do want to catch up on these. But when it comes to 22 episodes per season, it just loses me completely. And I know you say that like you're stuck with them. You just have to keep going on. Ren, I
Yeah.
was the same way, and then it just got to a point where I had recorded 10 episodes of The Flash, 10 episodes of Arrow, and I just said, fuck it. Not even worth catching up. That's 20 episodes to watch. That's 20 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. And I stopped. I stopped watching all of them. So, and here's the thing. I've tried watching the crossovers. I think they're fine. You know, I think they're fun. I just think TV works better in an 8 to 12 episode format. Nothing more than that. I think maybe comedies, I think comedies can make it definitely work because it's funny in every single episode mostly, but it just doesn't work for me. So Batwoman particularly, I don't care. Personally, I don't give a shit. I didn't hate her in the role. I think it's really sad that she's actually leaving, and I know there's some reports saying it was because of the back injury given. I'm calling bullshit. It's because of the harassment. I mean, it's been completely unnecessary. And again, even if you don't like her in the role, that's fine. But you know, she was. I remember when this got announced, she was really excited to play Batwoman. She was really excited to play Batwoman.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even at Comic-Con. I mean, she wasn't even at Comic-Con to come out on stage and stuff. So she canceled last minute, and it was pretty big to say the least. So I'm gonna be honest. I think this is fine. It's whatever. To be honest, they're not gonna get an. I think Ruby Rose is probably the biggest actor they had, and that's saying a lot that they probably had on the show. I mean, everyone else is kind of a newcomer at this point. So to be honest, it'll probably end up being a newcomer or someone who's like very underrated. And I was looking, the guy who's playing Batman that you said is just a random guy. He's casted as Batman. They're not getting another one. Like that is their Batman. So that's crazy to me too. But maybe, you know, that's cool. I mean, the guy who played Superman, I didn't fucking know anything about him. And then the couple instances I've seen of him, he's really good as Superman in the show. I would go as far to say everyone in the show who plays their characters is actually really good. It's just the material given to them is fucking terrible. I mean, absolutely garbage. Like Supergirl is, you and me discusses it. It's some of the worst TV I've ever watched. But Melissa as Supergirl is incredible. And some of the scenes I've seen with John Cryer as Lex Luthor, he's actually not bad. He's actually really not bad as Lex Luthor. I actually don't mind him as Lex Luthor. Like, again, for the certain clips and scenes that I've seen of him in. But that's saying a lot, like from just an impression. I don't mind these shows. It's just I can't. 22 episodes. Like I could like do so much more in my time.
You know, I get what you're saying. I have lots of friends that don't even start these shows because of that. The only reasons, and even though I watched most of them, I don't watch Black Lightning. I gave up on that.
I heard that one was actually the better one, though.
I don't know, dude. It was a fine family show, but it sucks as a superhero show.
Is it supposed to be Static Shock?
I think they were supposed to announce him or introduce him at some point, but it didn't work for me. It's not the show I wanted to see in that, but now he's part of Arrowverse, but it's still very disconnected, so I didn't get back on it even after they joined the universes. Only two shows, even though I watched them all, the only two shows I can fully recommend to people to at least try really is Flash and Arrow. And now Arrow is even over. But even I watched Legends of Tomorrow, and it's super cheesy, fun, like 60s comic book style. And even that one, I can't recommend it to people.
I've heard Legends of Tomorrow is really good. Like that, like when I talk to people who watch them all, they said that's their favorite one.
I mean, it is because it appeals to everyone. The broad appeal of it is really engaging. Some seasons are better than others. I'll definitely tell you that. Like season 1 and season 2, they're freaking awesome. Season 2, the year it came out, it was the best season out of all the CW shows. 100%. Then season 3, it's pretty cool. I didn't like season 4, and season 5 so far is being okay. But even though it's the one show that they have the shorter amount of episodes, they usually have like 18 or 16 episodes, but they're still the ones that feel like they're the ones that are dragging the most. Flash at least cuts its season into halves, one with one villain and another half with another,
which is garbage.
I love Flash, dude. Except season 4. Season
4, and that's the last one I watched. That was the last
one.
The
one with the guy
wheelchair guy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
really,
that was
really
terrible.
Sucked.
That was legitimately one of the worst.
Yeah.
Again, whatever. Let's move on to the next topic, Ren. I'm done talking about this bullshit.
And you should introduce the next topic about our friend Ahsoka, because you were the one who sent the news to me last night.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of news about The Mandalorian Season 2 and Star Wars and Disney Plus that they're doing. And so we're going to get to, obviously, the two big things from this week, which is Boba Fett and Ahsoka. So let's start with Ahsoka. Apparently, this Rosario Dawson, who is still not confirmed, but everything is pointing that she is playing Ahsoka, is that she signed a multi-season deal to pretty much appear on different Star Wars shows. Probably one being her own, one being The Mandalorian. Who knows? Maybe even the Rogue One spinoff. I mean, that is something that no one's talking about, is her appearing in there. But the one that was pretty much rumored, or now said that she's going to be in it, is Obi-Wan. You and me do not like this. I think there is a way to do it. You could do a flashback, age her down a little bit with CGI, and have a flashback between her, Hayden Christensen, and maybe a Force Vision. I could see that. But as a main character, I don't like it. It goes against the continuity of a lot of Star Wars novels and other things. And in a sense, she hasn't seen Obi-Wan in, since Clone Wars, correct, Ren?
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to have her be in there. I actually don't think she'll be in there unless it's a Force Vision or a flashback, or maybe Obi-Wan does know about her. I mean, that is a thing. Maybe he knows about her, but she doesn't. You know what I mean? In that case. So I think there's more of a possibility of her showing up more in the Rogue One, to be honest, than anything else. And it would also kind of explain, okay, well, where the fuck is she in Rogue One then?
Yeah.
There's periods of time where Ahsoka needs to be explained to where she's at. And someone actually corrected me in one of my videos. So apparently, Ren, Kylo found out in Battlefront 2's campaign where the old guy was in Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
So I'm changing my thought. Snoke kills her.
Okay, I can see that.
Or it ends up with her going to Exegol and she dies there.
The Exegol one I don't like because it's such a big thing in Rise of Skywalker for people to find it even. I mean, how would she get there without the Wayfinder?
You
it
never
should have
know.
been called the Holocron.
You never know, man. You never know. And yeah, that is true. Why the fuck was it not called a Holocron? Who knows?
Yeah. No, but I agree with you. I think it's them. But wait, I just got a super chat. I didn't even know I could get super chats. My flatmate back here is literally on this room behind me. He just paid a super chat. Thank you, Clipdix, even though he can't have that name anymore professionally. And lots of people are here. Damien Sion, I'm sorry for butchering the name. Scott is here. He's watched all the Arrowverse. Scott Kluna, J-Buck Studios is here. Bruno is also here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. As I was saying, it's weird that they even are considering for her to show up on the Obi-Wan show. It's a bad idea. I know. I mean, we in a sense we all want Ahsoka everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's just a bad idea. There are characters she cannot meet. There are characters that should not be aware of her. What you said that Obi-Wan maybe is aware of her. Maybe I can buy that depending on the execution, but I really don't want her anywhere on that show at all. Preferably, ideally, she won't be at all on that show. The Rogue One, however, the Cassian Andor one, it has a chance at not working out, at being weird as well if she shows up and Cassian Andor is aware that the Jedi is alive. And what does that entail? What conversations do they have? I mean, in theory, it's weird, but I can see it maybe working.
I could also see Hera showing up in that show and Chopper, since there was that little Easter egg in Rogue One. That is a big thing. I mean, and that's my thing. That's the show that I'm literally least excited about, just because I'm not a major fan of Rogue One. I'm not even a major fan. I like Rogue One a lot. I just don't care to revisit these characters anymore, if that makes sense. So it just comes down to execution for me. Honestly, the news that really excited me was this Boba Fett one with Timothy Olyphant. And I think people aren't really understanding it. So I don't know the guy's name from the book. Do you know? Is it Cobb?
Vanth.
So
Cobb
Timothy, so Timothy Olyphant, the news report is that he's been seen on set with the Boba Fett armor on. He's not playing Boba Fett, guys. He's not playing Boba Fett. But I don't think the character of Boba Fett shows up in this show at all then. I think Cobb, Vanth, whatever the character he's playing, is wearing the armor. Not fully. I don't think he's even has the mask on. I think it's literally just the armor. Or maybe he does have the mask on to pretend that he's Boba Fett. That could be a thing. But I see him in particular not being a major part of it. I also see that those boots that we heard at the end going up the Fennec, that is probably this character. And I think what we're going to see is Tamara Morrison more likely playing a Captain Rex in this. What say you?
Yeah. I can see it, but on one hand, I think a lot of people are going to be pissed that if he does not play Boba Fett, a lot of people are going to be pissed about that
Mhm.
because you have the actor right there. There's
Yeah.
no excuse like, oh, we didn't get you did you got the actor. Maybe they could make a part of the season Boba Fett coming after this guy to get his armor back, and then Rex is also there and helps him because, oh shit, I'm a clone of yours. You're my originator, or your father was, but whatever. But I can see that we start off thinking that this is Boba Fett, and then he takes the mask off, and it's this random guy. But then Boba Fett comes to get his armor. Again, Boba Fett is only in 1 or 2 episodes. We don't know how long Timothy Oliphant's character is in the show, but they have said it's a major role, so he's definitely going to be on the show longer than Boba Fett.
And he might not even be Cobb. I think that's everyone needs to understand. That's just what everyone's predicting because it makes sense from the book Aftermath. So I really like this idea. I think it's unique. I know it could piss off people, but at the same time, I'm okay with that, if that makes sense to you. Like I personally don't mind what they're doing with this character.
Yeah.
And that's actually been my one thing, is that I love Boba Fett, but we don't need more of him. I mean, there's, what else is there to do with the character? He fucking died, like I just don't get it. I personally, I want more new characters in The Mandalorian, and that's the one thing. I was listening to this podcast from these guys, and they were talking yesterday about how they feel that after the Mando season 2, it'll go to more arcs. And that we might not follow Mandalorian Baby Yoda for a couple episodes in the next season. It could be a Bo-Katan and Sabine, because they are Mandalorians. And it all, by the end, connects. I'm like, I could see them doing that because Dave Filoni did the Clone Wars, for this, it seems there's so much coming into this season. I hope, one, that it's either 10 or 12 episodes instead of 8.
Oh, it's going to be 8. They're confirmed it.
Is it? Okay. And then the other thing is that they're longer. I think they have to be longer.
Yeah. That one I agree with, and I think there's a chance they might be longer. I think they should be longer. I really don't want to see like an episode just following Sabine and Bo-Katan because they're Mandalorians. I mean, sure, they are Mandalorians. They're not the Mandalorian, The first season perfectly established that we're following one Mandalorian specifically, and now just there's a loophole in here that there are more I don't want to see that at all. It's his show. Let it be his show. Get recognizable characters in here, and then to introduce them and spin them off in their own shows if you want. But keep the focus on the Mandalorian, the one that we started this journey with.
Yeah, totally. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. All right. So the next topic we have
is Snyder Cut.
Is what?
Should we just get talked about the Snyder Cut?
No, there's another topic that also came late in the evening. Again, evening for me. Yeah. But it's pretty major, dude. The Oscars are considering being postponed. And there's not any specific reason giving, although it's kind of obvious why they're considering it. It sucks. This one hit me like a ton of bricks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
Do you really think it'll happen, though?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think it does, though.
I'm just afraid, and if it does, it freaking sucks. But it's one of those that got me like really, really hitting the panic button in terms of how my reaction is to this.
For me, I mean, I can understand why they would go with it, but I don't think there's any way of talking about it until. I think they need to see how the rest of the year goes. I mean, you could cancel this in August, September, but even then, I mean, you already changed your rules that streaming is going to be allowed. So why not just allow it? I mean, you know what I mean? Because like most of these Oscar films, what I could even see them doing is going straight to VOD. I mean, that's
100%.
That, and to be honest, they probably honestly will. That's really the truth. They'll probably also come out in theaters, but limited. And it'll most likely, that's just how I view it. Like, this year's going to be very weird. And a new study actually just came out this morning saying that they took a poll of like a couple thousand people, and 70% of them said that they would pay if they knew a movie was going in the theaters, but they could also watch it at home. They would pay to watch it at home instead of in the theaters. 70% of people said that, which is insane to me. Which is insane.
And it sucks because then the movies go to VOD and you see how little money they make, which is just weird that people prefer that. It's one of those things I really don't understand whatsoever.
Totally. So it's interesting. It's interesting nonetheless. So I don't think it'll happen though. I think they'll. Yeah,
it's a weird world. It's a weird world we're living in, and now that we're done with that, we are going to talk about the main event. But before we get to main event, make sure you already press that like button and you are already subscribed, and please start asking questions in the live chat so we can answer it afterwards. But now our main topic. Before we go into all those beautiful questions you guys are sending, the Snyder Cut. Zach, tonight, Snyder
today for me.
Today, yeah. Is it during the day?
Yeah, it starts at 8 a.m. It starts at 8 a.m. So in like 15 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay, so Zack Snyder in a few minutes.
I don't think he'll announce it till the end though. I think he'll announce it at the very end.
So, but in a few minutes, he's about to start a live watch party of Men of Steel, or as I like to call it, Masterpiece of Steel. And supposedly it has been teased. A lot of journalists have quote unquote confirmed it. He is going to release or announce the release of the Snyder Cut. Now, before I ask your thoughts and before I share my thoughts, to me, the Snyder Cut has always existed. However, the Snyder Cut has always been an incomplete version of the film. No finished visual effects, color grading, sound, whatever. But it has existed. I hope that's how we get to see the film, because I don't see anyone paying $20 million, which is the estimate value. That's
I read the estimate 70.
70. Okay, that even emphasizes my point more. I don't see anyone paying $70 million.
I could be wrong, but that's what I was reading. It was 70.
I mean, I don't see anyone paying that to finish a movie that is going to VOD, because they're not releasing it in theaters. They're not releasing it in theaters now, and they need all eyes possible around it so they could put it on HBO Max. And also, this has become such a myth, such a legend. People have not stopped talking about it. And dude, I believe that it could happen. I'm not betting on it.
I'm betting my right nut on
it. You're betting your right nut.
Not today. I don't know if
okay.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's not announced today, then either the deal's not done or it's just not happening. I mean, that's just the truth.
That's what I was going to ask. But yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, the last time he did a watch long, he did Batman v Superman. At the very end of it, he said, "Man, I wish someone would make a sequel to this." Looked at the camera and it ended.
Oh shit.
So that's why I'm thinking, on top of everything that came out, literally right afterwards, all these reports are coming out. He announces that he's going to do a Man of Steel watch long. Why wouldn't? And then this tweet or this hashtag on Vero started going around saying paused but not stopped. Paused but not stopped.
Okay.
With the release of Snyder Cut. So for me, it's like, and he actually tweeted that out with this Man of Steel watch long. So does that mean, do we get a Man of Steel 2 instead? Do we get a Justice League? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's interesting is what do we get? Because there's reports that they've put a hold on Supergirl and they're going to do Superman instead for theaters. Likely so. That's what they should be doing. It makes zero sense why you're going to not use Superman. But so I don't think we get a Man of Steel 2. At least with Zack Snyder, I don't see that happening. But I see a Justice League Snyder Cut happening. And I think I'm with you. I think they're going to give him money. I think they're going to give him money to finish it. I'm going to be honest. I think they will. So far, HBO Max does not have that giant thing. They don't have that giant thing yet. That's like, come subscribe. But a Justice League could be it. And that could be the reason for getting, you know what I mean? Because there's also reports that this would be a mini series, not a movie, a mini series. So 30-minute increment things to finish out his thing. I could see them doing that. The thing with it though is if they give us the Snyder Cut, the thing people are gonna want, they're gonna want the other 2 parts that he had planned. In that part, just do them animated. Just do them fucking animated. I guarantee you could probably get Ben Affleck to come back and do a voice. He would do the voice. I could see him voice-wise because he doesn't have to work out or anything like that. Henry Cavill, I could see him doing that. So I think a lot of this, I think the people who are in charge of Warner Brothers are very different than they were 2-3 years ago. So I think by the end of that Man of Steel party, we're going to get a confirmation on a Justice League Zack Snyder cut or something. Plus, Jason Momoa comes out yesterday with a video. You know, it's just too coincidence to not have it not be a thing, you know?
I agree. I will say this, though. There are 2 things that I would love more if instead of Snyder Cut, either of these 2 things happen. One of them, number 2, is if he was just trolling everyone to get eyes on his Army of the Dead trailer.
That would be cool. I mean, release. I still am really excited for that.
Yeah, same.
But I don't think he would. The fan base has been too big for it.
Oh, I know too. I mean, he would destroy his fan base completely if he did.
Yeah. That. Oh, I mean, people would be like, "Fuck the Snyder Cut" at that point. You know what I mean?
but the one thing I'd love the most, and it would be a really cool troll job, but it would be even better because he would not destroy his fan base, is if he announced, as you suggested, Man of Steel 2. Yeah. I love Man of Steel. I've been waiting. Even if it wasn't him, Zack Snyder that was directing it, I would love a Man of Steel 2. I just want to see Henry Cavill back with a cape and tights.
And you know what's funny? That is something that we haven't. What if it is Man of Steel 2? What if he announces both? He could announce both and say, "Hey, my cut is gonna go on HBO Max." And another big reason everyone's Justice League is the only DC film not going to HBO Max from the DCU. Yeah. So that's another big thing. No, it's not. It's not going to be on there. Oh. Every other DCEU film will be on there, but not Justice League. That's weird. Exactly. And I think a lot of people, I have a theory it's actually going to come out. I have a gut feeling it's going to come out next week, or it was supposed to come out next week with the release of HBO now, or HBO Max. But now with the coronavirus, I think that pushed it back.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance that we do get the Snyder Cut and we get a Man of Steel 2, that he announces both. And this has been my one worry, is that a trade is going to leak out what's the announcement. Or no one even knows if it's an announcement. You know what I mean? We just know it's like, we all expect it to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something we all got to temper our expectations to. 100%. But I think, what if he announces today, "Hey, tonight you can start watching it"?
Dude, that would be big. Where would it be on, like HBO Now at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or ladies, VOD it.
Yeah. But to chime in with his thoughts on this hot topic, we got someone who has been only on the chat right now, but he's joining in. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Buckendall here.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
I missed a couple minutes of what you guys were talking about with the Snyder Cut, but are you guys? I guess that question I just threw down. Read that out, Ren.
So Jared, before joining in, he asked if we think it'll actually be that much different, much better, or this just a marketing scheme. Personally, I think there's definitely
I want to take it.
Yeah,
I want to take it. I think it's going to be completely different. I mean, if you listen to his Q&A at that Zack Snyder convention that he had, where someone literally asked him to give his whole, like, he said everything in that. Oh, we cut out for a second.
There you go.
Okay, I think we're back. So he gave his whole thoughts on everything that was supposed to happen, what was supposed to happen in this film, what was going to happen in the other ones, not like straight pinpoints, but literally like, this is what was going to happen, this one. Yeah. It was very different. I mean, explicitly different. A majority of the film was completely different. Like at the end of the original Justice League, I don't know, do you guys want me to say it or no? Just in case that I really...
Ahead. No, go ahead.
Lois Lane was supposed to die. Wonder Woman was supposed to die. Superman was going to turn evil because of Lois Lane's death, and team up with Darkseid.
Okay.
Yep. Cyborg was going to be ripped in half. Aquaman would be dead, and it would just be Batman, the Flash, and half a Cyborg left. And then the next film would pretty much take in that part of Batman v Superman. of them traveling back in time, doing different time
okay,
things.
so
Where,
there's
so that
two.
would
So
actually
there's two
that would
movies,
actually
okay.
play into the
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
of like canon or whatever.
And
Um,
then they never said, like, he never gave his conclusion to that one, but he's like, that's the basicness of what would have happened.
See,
Okay, so was Darkseid in the movie at all?
Darkseid was supposed to be in the movie.
Okay, did they get to
there's-
cast the Darkseid?
So that's not when he was in. That's
it
when
was
he
just
came
all
out.
CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had. You can find him. He has a design of him up somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Not a
so
fan.
I don't.
Well-
I don't love it, but it's a design. It could have been completely different by then.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's
But I
See,
also
the-
didn't like Steppenwolf's design. So
Yeah. The thing is, Zach, you're saying all this stuff, which sounds like a completely different movie. But going back to kind of what you guys just mentioned, it's like, how much money, how much work are they gonna throw at this? Again, it's going to get people on the platform for HBO Max for sure, if that's where it's going. But it's just like, how much money are they gonna throw at it?
Yeah, I don't see them throwing.
I could
much
see him
at
throwing
all.
30. I could see him throwing 30 mil.
Really 30 million.
I mean,
Dude, they
if
spend way more on shows.
it just depends how many people they think
I
they can
know.
get onto the platform. You know?
Yeah, but at the same time, Justice League. I mean, it's unfair to say it flopped, but it didn't do much money in the first place. So at this point, they would only get Snyder loyalists who would basically pay anything to see it. But the numbers aren't there. I mean, especially because they're releasing it on HBO Max, they wouldn't get that much numbers because shared accounts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I think a lot of people would actually be very curious to check it out. Again, the casual fan will probably read an article and just be like, oh, okay, those are the differences. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm not even that big a fan, but I would just watch it just to know, like, what changed, why this was such a thing, and also just to say I saw it.
Yeah, and to see what could have been at a certain point. Yeah. And dude, I have the same curiosity, and I like Justice League. I think Justice League being fine is the freaking miracle when I saw it in 2017. But okay, gentlemen, let's give over-unders that it is announced today and over-unders that it actually happens if it is not announced today.
90% that it happens today. If
Okay.
it's not announced today, 5%.
Okay. Jared?
I think I'm more than half. I want to say maybe like 60-65% it happens today, or there's like a even bigger hint. When Zach brought up the fact that potentially Man of Steel 2 could be a thing, it's going around in my brain. It's one of the two. I really think that it's going to be the Snyder Cut before the Man of Steel 2, but I feel like that one is getting more steam, especially since
It could be
he's
both.
it could be both. That's the thing.
I
Crossing my
think
fingers.
I really do think that they were planning for this because HBO Max right now has nothing big opening day. They have nothing big.
Yeah,
I
they
got
just
it
have stuff
because-
that already exists, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got it because I want Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I want that stuff, and I already have HBO Max. So that's where I really feel that this could have been their big thing, and I think they were originally planning for this to be first day HBO Max, but now everything's kind of gone down, and that's why I also think I would love a completed version. They're not going to do a completed version. They might give him
No.
some money to do some of the CGI for certain scenes, but overall, I think a lot of it's going to be storyboarded, which I'm still fine with. I mean, isn't the Donner cut's not completely complete? It's cut up, but it's not like everything in there. I don't feel is complete. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's still some things that he could have tinkered with a little bit better.
It has been a long time, so I can't. I can give my opinion on it. It wouldn't. I don't think I have a legit opinion. It's been so long since I seen that. I mean, if anything, I would actually say he has a chance at someone working a little bit on the sound for some of the added scenes, but not the CG, because CG takes entire teams. A minimal thing takes an entire team of people. So
I mean,
I don't know, man.
It could be this thing this whole time. They have been working on it. I mean,
True.
just heck, even just yesterday, I think it was, Jason Momoa came out and he's like, "We're not doing anything. Release the cut." Blah blah blah.
I saw that.
And he's claimed, along with a handful of other people, that they've seen it. Again,
Yeah.
going back to what you guys are saying, how complete is it? How chopped up? You know, what kind of finishing pieces and polish do you need to put on this thing?
Probably a lot.
Yeah. Especially since it's like, what, wasn't it supposed to be 3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my thing though, that at this point I would, and I've been saying this, DC animated, I mean, those are really underrated. Some of them are really good. Take the scripts from these undeveloped stories and make them in the animation. I would kill for the George Miller animated version of Justice League Mortal. I'd love to see what that was supposed to be. I'd love to see Nicolas Cage's Superman. You're gonna tell me you couldn't get Nicolas Cage to do the voice? You could fucking do it.
I am Superman, okay.
And I fully believe that you could have done, and I fully believe that you could do the rest of his. At least take the plot outline and be like, let's develop it into a full thing. Let's complete his vision.
Publish it as a book. It's
that
cheaper.
That too. But I would rather want the animation.
Yeah, same. But yeah, it's a hot topic. You guys who are watching us, let us know what you think will happen. What would you like to happen? Do you want a Man of Steel 2? Scott Cluna clearly wants a Man of Steel 2, as do I. But now, before you guys start sending in questions to the live chat, we're going to read out some of the questions that you sent us over the last few days on Twitter. Jared has not seen these questions before, Zach and I have. So we're going to basically put him in the hot seat.
Oh, no.
And we're going to make him answer first. All right.
Yes, because we hate him.
Is this the one? Yes, it is. Okay. Jared, from G. Colby Porter, least favorite movie starring your celebrity crush.
Oh, God. I would have to look up because I said it was Emma Watson last time I was on. I don't know. Oh, you know what? That Circle movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think that was very just forgettable. I watched it and it was just like
that was a movie.
That was a movie.
That was a movie. Damn.
Zach, how about you?
I have a bunch of celebrity crushes, so
choose
every
one.
movie.
Can I say Chaos Walking, since that movie seems like it's gonna be garbage?
Oh my God. Yeah.
No, if I'm being honest though, Wisco Tango Foxtrot with Margot Robbie. I mean, she's
I
not,
never
like, the
seen
main
that.
character. It's not bad, but like it's probably my least favorite movie with her, I guess. Oh, Suicide Squad. Oh, fuck that movie. There you go. There you go. What about you, Ren?
Well, surprisingly no one, my answer will be Margot Robbie, but I'm actually not going to say Suicide Squad. I'm actually going, just to differ from you, I'm actually going to say a movie that was very promising. She did it with Chiwetel Ejiofor and Chris Pine. It's called Z for Zechariah.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've never seen it and you ask me to describe what that movie is about, I have no idea. So, second question. And this one I will really like to see Jared's answer because my mind is going blank. So, still from G. Colby Porter, since the MCU seems to cast comedic actors, Chris Pratt, Paul Rudd, Kumail Nanjiani, who's a comedian you would...
I mean, that's a tough question because it's like if you get too big a name or someone that's too into comedy, it's very much going to take you out. I mean, even Paul Rudd was kind of, right at the beginning, kind of like, I don't know, but he works perfectly. Oh, God. Trying to think of comedians right now. I don't know. Not a big role, but I could see Eliza Schlesinger being kind of a bit part or a side character, kind of like the agent in Ant-Man and the Wasp 2. I'm blanking on his name.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm blanking on the name.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
He played him.
Yeah. Randall Park.
Yeah, Randall Park. Yeah, that's a good one. Who's a comedian you want to see in the MCU? I'm gonna be honest. I was watching this last night. Either Ben Stiller or Vince Vaughn. I would love to see them in there. I would love, especially Vince Vaughn, man. Especially Vince Vaughn.
I can see Vince Vaughn doing like a pretty I wouldn't say dark, but he could definitely go dramatic with it.
Oh yeah. So that's why I would love to see him play. Like, I'm gonna say it right now. I could see him as Kingpin, as the MCU version as Kingpin.
Dude, I was gonna say I can see him as Rhino.
That would be another good one. I could see him as Rhino too. I could see him as
Yeah.
Rhino. I wouldn't mind that. So that's a good
Yeah,
question.
this one's really good. I have two. I mean, both of them have already showed that they can do dramatic, but I primarily known them as comedy actors, and they are John Cho and Kal Penn, who did the Harold and Kumar movies.
Mhm.
Those would both be pretty interesting. I have no idea or suggestion of roles they should play, but those are two that I'd be very curious to see. Okay, so next question: what movie character reminds you of yourself?
Movie character that reminds me of
Spider-Man, Star-Lord, or Deadpool. I mean, those are like my obvious choices. What about you guys?
Ren, you might have to go first. I'm trying to think on this one.
Yeah, Captain America in a lot of ways, but he's not like the one. Captain America from the MCU specifically. I'm trying to think of like characters that are defined by their friendship in a sense. One answer that I do have off the top of my tongue, I really relate to this character, but he's not a movie character. He's a TV character. It's the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who, specifically the Matt Smith Doctor. He's one I relate to a lot. I can also relate kind of to Bruce Banner in the sense that I don't get angry like at all, but when I do get angry, I literally fucking explode. So I guess those are three I relate to in ways.
Ren, I'm glad you brought the Hulk because that's my friends. They were like, "We've never seen you mad." I'm like, "You don't want
You don't want to see me mad."
But for some reason, I was leaning towards, and actually behind that long shot poster is a poster of Night at the Roxbury. I would say Steve and Doug Butabi, Chris Kattan, and Will Ferrell from Night at the Roxbury. Just
Good
like
choice.
the ridiculous outfits, the dance moves, the awful pickup lines. I would say that is pretty much me.
That's awesome. I mean, we can all relate to awful pickup lines, even though some of us do it on purpose. Okay, from Alex Madden, a friend of ours from the Cinemania show, asks, what are three items, and Zach apparently loved this question, what are three items you would buy together at a grocery store to make the cashier laugh?
Condoms, rope, and a dirty mag.
Oh my god. I think I did this one time because I needed random stuff for like a project. And yeah, it was like a wine, bananas, and something else. And it was like just so like, oh god, what are you doing? God. Come back to me. I'll try to think on what the third one was.
Okay. Before I say my items, I gotta say, when I go to the supermarket, I go to those self-checkout things. I don't know the word in English, but I don't interact with cashiers. But if I was going to do this, duct tape, condom, and a mask of some kind, like a weird pig or tiger mask of something.
Yeah, duct tape was the third item I was forgetting.
I do remember one time I was checking out a lady at my work.
Nice.
And she brought up a bunch of these massage things that look like a dildo.
Oh no.
Like there's like this little spikes or balls at the bottom that you like, and then the other part's just a tip. And she bought like 5 of those, and I was trying so hard not to fucking laugh. And then she had a dog toy. She had a dog toy that was like the same thing.
Oh my god. G. Colby Porter has just now joined us. We just answered your questions, but thank you for being here. Okay, from the Movie Apprentice, who hosts the Spiked Hair podcast, so go check him out here on YouTube. I'm not going to be able to answer this question, so I hope you guys are. Tell us your D&D characters, race, class, alignment, and full backstory.
I don't play D&D, but I can make one up. So race-wise, don't get mad if you play D&D. I don't know anything about it. So my race character is going to be Mickey Mouse. My class is going to be a prostitute. With the, I don't know what an alignment is, but my full backstory is I used to be a princess, but then my father disowned me because I was ugly. And yeah.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. Mickey Mouse as a prostitute. Again, I'm aware of D&D. I've never played it. But for some reason, every role-playing game and stuff, I'm always like the sneaky, quick, like thieving type person. So I
really?
was thinking of maybe
Okay.
like a dark elf thief or something,
Mhm.
or a not a smuggler, but
Mhm.
yeah, something like that. Bandit.
I guess if we're going to that,
Mm-hmm.
when I play Skyrim, I'm always the lizard-looking dude,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm always. It's funny. I'll always build my character to be super strong, but I'll always go stealthy. So, like, I just got done playing Outer Worlds, and
Mhm.
usually in those games, I always dedicate like all my points to like speech. That way, I can just talk my way through everything. It makes the game so much easier and faster. So I always do speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
That's
always
smart.
tend to do like sneak and speed, so I'm
Mhm.
very like. But the lizard,
You're like Sonic the Hedgehog.
yeah, exactly. I don't want to be a human. I want to be like some kind of weird creature or something like
Mhm.
that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I don't play the NDA either. I was never attracted to it. I skipped one of Kobe's questions, but we'll get to it because he asked again on the chat. I would like to be an animal of some kind, a hybrid, a humanoid animal as well.
A Tiger King.
Ooh.
Yes. I would like to be a wizard because I just like to do magic, and animals who do magic are always better for some reason.
Yep.
Full backstory.
proven.
I don't know. I was experimented on. The experience went wrong, but eventually, through my journeys on the dungeons and the dragons, I learned that it actually went right, and I'm a much better, powerful wizard because of the experience. So that's my answer. Okay, from Aaron Moriarty, is one of the biggest fans of the show, as well as G. Kobe Porter. She asks, what are your top 10 movies of the 2010s decade? This is one that requires a lot of thought, but I'll just go off the top of my head with my favorite movies of each year. So 2010, I'll go Inception. 2011, I'll go Warrior. 2012, Avengers. 2013, I'll go Rush. 14, what the fuck came out in 2014? I'll go Whiplash. 2015, oh god. What came out in 2015? Off the top of my head, Age of Ultron. 2016, La La Land. 2017, Blade Runner 2049. 2018, it wasn't Infinity War. What was my favorite of 2018? Mission Impossible Fallout. No, First Man. First Man was my favorite movie of the year. And 2019, Avengers Endgame.
I didn't hear the question.
What are your favorite movies of the 2010 decade? I just went with my favorites of each year.
Okay, that's tough for me. So like off the top of my head, because I did a whole video on this. I did like top 25, but Wolf of Wall Street, Toy Story 3, Inception, every Denis Villeneuve film wrapped into one. The MCU Infinity Saga wrapped into one. Sorry, I can't pick. That's just impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Paddington 2.
Oh yeah.
The Big Sick. The War for the Planet of the Apes trilogy. Was
You've already picked 10, so if you want to be done, you're done.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm done. I can't think of the rest of my list.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to go by decade, but just a handful of ones that pop out. Inception. I really, really like La La Land. I know some people are very divisive on it. Arrival is a top-notch sci-fi film. Brittany Runs a Marathon from last year I really liked. The MCU, Mission Impossible, my God, they just keep getting better and better and better. Those are some of my like kind of favorite from the decade. Again, I'd have to go through and scour every year to figure out like which one from every year or something like that.
Yeah, the ones I remembered the fastest were the ones that I had a channel already. So those ones I remember my number one of each year. The second question from Aaron Moriarty, she asks us to rank all the Star Wars movies, including Rogue One and Solo. Do any of you guys want to start, or should I go first?
You can go first. I don't even know what mine
you
is.
go first. I'll go next.
Okay. So Return, Empire, Star Wars, Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Rogue One, Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. No, sorry, Rogue One, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, and Phantom Menace. We don't count the other one, the animated one. Doesn't exist.
Okay, so my number 1 is Empire, 2 is Force Awakens, 3 is A New Hope. Wait. 4 is Revenge. Yeah, 4 is Revenge of the Sith. 5 is Return of the Jedi. 6 is Rise of Skywalker. 7 is Phantom Menace. Wait. 6 is Rise of Skywalker. 7 is Solo. 8 is Rogue One. 9 is Phantom Menace. 10 is Attack of the Clones. Did I miss one? I feel like I missed one.
Yeah, is there 10?
No, there's 11.
So which one did I miss?
Yeah, maybe you missed Solo.
The Last Jedi.
No, I talked Solo.
Oh,
Last Jedi. I'd put that one right after Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think number 1. Let's work from top down. Empire, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, A New Hope, Force Awakens. Then it's kind of a mishmash of stuff where The Last Jedi, probably that one's moved up a bit, and then just kind of fill them out where Attack of the Clones, I would say Rise of Skywalker is above Attack of the Clones now after like a rewatch, but just kind of throw them all into a bucket at the end.
Yeah,
there you go.
I agree. All right, now going to the live questions. Okay, we got this. This is a really interesting one. Jacoby Porter asks us, what are comedies we like but everyone else hates, and comedy you hate, and comedies we hate but everyone else loves? Off the top of my head, I got 2 that everyone else hates but I like at least. Sausage Party. I really like Sausage Party. And Once Upon a Time in the West. I don't mind that movie. It's fine.
I really liked Once Upon a Time in the West. I remember seeing that in the theaters and dying.
Yeah. Oop, shit.
I've never seen that movie. I've never seen Once Upon a Time. But I actually really like Ted 2, and I feel like people shit on it, but I like it. Hangover 2, I think, is actually the best Hangover film. I like Hangover 3. Now we can talk about Lovebirds. I think more people are gonna not like it as much, sadly. But I think it's a fun date movie. This Means War, I think, is actually really entertaining. And I just started watching the movie The Watch last night. If you guys remember Jonah Hill, Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn. I've never seen it before. I'm almost done with it. I really like this movie. And to see that it has like a fucking 20% on Rotten Tomatoes is like insane to me. I think it's fun. I think it's really fun. And Tag got shit on too, and I love Tag.
Tag is awesome. I love Tag. Do you have any that you hate but everyone else seems to love?
Go to Jared and come back to me on that one. I gotta think for a second.
No, Zach, I'm glad you brought up the Watch, because whatever year that came out, I don't know why, but I would watch that over and over and over again just because I feel like the comedy landed so well. At that time,
it's different. It's very different.
Ones that I absolutely loved, but I know that they have awful Rotten Tomato scores are Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
That's a fun
one. I like that movie.
That was the fun, probably one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in the movie theater. Like, I was laughing and crying the whole time. And then one that I rewatched like about a year ago was Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro. Not good.
No, it's not good at all.
It clicked, and I really liked the like crude humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie, but I really don't get like the passionate hate that it gets.
I have one that people love, but I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's Bridesmaids. I think it's a little overrated, to be honest.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it's terrible. I think there are funny moments to it, but I don't love that movie. Another one that I actually really liked was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and the newest one, Versus, I actually thought was really, really good. Let me see.
Some that I don't hate these, but a lot of people love them. I just don't get it. I talked to you, Zach, in the last episode about one, and that's Knocked Up. I don't
I love that movie.
I don't get Knocked Up. Meet the Parents, I was never a big fan of. This one will get me a lot of hate. Mean Girls, I don't care about Mean Girls.
I have another one. Zoolander. I don't get it.
Never seen it.
Really?
I've never gotten Zoolander. I just don't get it.
When did you come to it late?
Yes,
Okay.
very, very, very late.
I'm wondering
Very
if that's
late.
why.
It probably is. I'm like looking through a bunch, and I'm like,
There's something about Mary I also don't get.
that's funny. That is a funny one.
I know that people like.
Oh,
that
another one
but-
that people shit on: The Dictator and the Brothers Grimsby. That is those movies are fucking funny.
The Brothers Grimsby or Grimsby, whatever the hell it's called. I remember seeing that one and almost being very excited for it, and then it just poof disappeared.
Yeah, it was only in theaters for like 2 weeks. No one talked about it.
I remember seeing it. I think I enjoyed it at the time, but at this point, I barely remember anything about it, so I can't really say.
Here's another one I like. The Newest Vacation. I didn't think it was bad. I liked it.
Really?
I liked it a
Oh
lot.
my god.
Not as good as the original, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Oh wow. That one I actually agreed with most people. I went to watch it. I still remember I took one of my best friends to see it on his birthday. I still hadn't seen any reviews for it, and then we watched it and I was like, dude, I am so sorry.
You want to know something? The reviews didn't come out till the next day.
That makes sense. Because I was still in Portugal back then, but in Portugal movies come out on Thursday. They don't come out on Friday. So
yeah, they held it till Friday morning. I remember that.
Yeah. Jared, do you have any other ones?
I was trying to look up stuff. Nothing really was popping, but I don't know. I just feel like the last 4 years, we haven't had any like really breakout comedy, unless I'm missing stuff. I know, is The Big Sick an actual comedy, or is it more of a comedy
I'd
drama?
say so. I mean, yeah,
I think it's a drama more.
Yeah.
But I would say the best one in the last couple of years is Game Night. Game Night was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I've watched that film countless times.
I'm blanking on one, but I remember 2018 had three good comedies.
Book Smart was great. Long Shot
Booksmart
was one of my favorite films of that year.
Long Shot was really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tag was also really good.
Tag,
and Blockers. I really like Blockers.
I like Blockers. I don't love it, though.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
Going back
Is there
to
any more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
sorry.
I just saw in the chat Popstar.
Oh,
That's a
Popstar's
great one.
really
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Popstar
Colby
is
said
really-
Thor Ragnarok. I don't count it as a horror. That's what, or a comedy.
horror?
That's
It's
or
a
comedy.
horror.
Definitely don't count it as a horror.
I'm stuck as a
No.
green man. How do I get back?
But yeah, I don't count it as comedy. I mean, it's comedy, but it's also not. It's a superhero film.
Going back a little bit to the comedy actors we've cast in the MCU, Colby suggests Seth MacFarlane and Simon Pegg, specifically Simon Pegg. He says MacFarlane would be a good Beast. I actually think Pegg would be a great Beast for the X-Men.
That is true. That Simon Pegg would be awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, next question. If you guys cast Adam Sandler in the MCU and DCU, who would you cast him as? I know Zach will have a lot of fun with this one.
Man, that's tough because I would love to see him in the DCEU as Lex Luthor, like the older Lex Luthor. I think he could really play with
Ooh.
that. But MCU wise, I think he could also be really good as after Uncut Gems. I'm just thinking if you could have him as Smythe,
Oh, Smythe, yeah.
that would be really cool.
How about you, Jared?
Yeah, for some reason that for DC, I'm thinking like go darker with him, kind of a villain like what Zach had mentioned. And for some reason, the MCU, like thinking like almost a character that would fit into like Thor Ragnarok, kind of like you know, it's staying within the realm of superhero, but a little goofy. Oh my god, I don't know. So I feel like he could be a villain in a Spider-Man movie, not a big villain, but kind of like a scientist type character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's jumping to my mind though.
Yeah, I in the MCU, I'd see him as like Ulick, the blacksmith troll. He's basically
I
the
could see that.
troll who makes the weapons for the gods, such as Mjolnir and whatnot. And on the on the DCU, I'd cast him as Granny Goodness.
I hate you. I hate you. But it could work. To be honest, I think the best property he could show up in is Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I think he'd kill it in Doom Patrol if they had him in there. So.
And Colby is now calling me out, and he's right to do so. I meant A Million Ways to Die in the West, not Once Upon a Time in the West. Very different movies. I don't know how I went to that. Jacob Anders Reviews asks, since Hollywood has started remaking movie series from the 2000s, do you think they'll ever remake Lord of the Rings, and should they? I mean, they're already doing a show. It's not a remake per se, because it's not the same timeline story. But whenever I say, whenever you say ever, I think, at one point, right now they shouldn't, but at one point I'll say, why not?
I'm going to say, I don't think so. I think Lord of the Rings is up there with Star Wars, where I just could never see him remaking something like that. I think when it comes to Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Harry Potter, those are the three that I could never see him remaking. I just see him adding to the world. Films I do see him remaking, though, they already tried it with Ghostbusters. I could see him doing Back to the Future, which I don't think they should, but I think those are kind of the classic movies I could see. But these big franchise ones are so integral. To be honest, I could see him redoing The Hobbit. If anything, I could see him redoing The Hobbit more than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Is like that. Not holy trinity of the three, but those three were so damn good, and then The Hobbit kind of shit the bed and almost tainted a little bit of that, prestige that the other ones had. It's interesting to think about, because it's like, how many years? What's like almost the year amount of time that it's okay to make a remake or whatever? Ghostbusters was what, 30 years?
I think so,
something like that. So I don't think Star Wars, Harry Potter, because they're doing, the Fantastic Beasts, I don't think that they will get remakes, but like, at what point do you think that they need to?
I mean, need is a strong word. I say nothing needs to be remade at any point. Nothing needs to be made in the first place. But I say I can easily see Harry Potter being remade once, and knock on wood, once JK passes away. I can easily see them remaking Harry Potter just like that.
I don't. I see them going a sequel series. I think she's very adamant against continuing the story with them, and I think that's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. I don't care two shits about Fantastic Beasts anymore. I was thinking about this. The smartest thing they could do is do Cursed Child as a mini series on HBO Max, and then do a sequel series after that, following way later down the line, like when it's not even Harry's kid, it's like his grandson going to Hogwarts,
like
where you have
new
them
lore,
completely new stuff there. And I mean, I don't even want JK involved, to be honest, anymore.
Same.
Like she should not be writing those scripts. She could maybe give an outline, but she should not be writing those scripts at all.
Yeah, I think she could do treatments, but
also, so at the end of Crimes of Grindelwald, this is off the topic, they announced that Credence is Dumbledore's brother, correct? So when I was rewatching Harry Potter, you know how you meet Dumbledore's brother in Deathly Hallows Part 2? Is that Credence? Yeah, older?
No. That's another. That's Aberforth. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Credence is a secret brother, which is AKA for he did not exist until Crimes of Grindelwald was made.
That's true. And then we didn't have a giant twist we needed to review.
Exactly. Next question comes from Scott Kluna. If any Pixar movie could be made into a live-action film, what one would you love to see? I can't count WALL-E because there's a part of live-action in it with Fred Willard, which, rest in peace, he just passed away over the weekend. I would actually say WALL-E is the one, and maybe you could do Up. I don't really see Up, but WALL-E is one I could totally see in live action and working.
Those are the two exact ones that I kind of was leaning towards. I'm looking up the list right now, so I might have a different answer.
Do Cars in live action.
Incredibles. I mean, The Incredibles.
I mean, that's just called the Fantastic Four, and you know
it. But I don't want them to remake any Pixar films.
Oh, me neither.
I think once you get there, I'm fucking done. Like, come on.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is going back to our last question. It's like, if they remade Toy Story, it's like, how much? I mean, it's just going to be a enhancement of graphics. It's not going to
I'm not even
anything.
joking.
Exactly.
I would legitimately fucking hate that if they remade Toy Story. I'm not even joking. I would legitimately fucking hate that. I wouldn't even fucking go see it. I don't even care if I got it. I would not go fucking see it.
There is one way a live action, quote unquote, live action Toy Story could work, and that is if you have real actors playing the toys, but then you have toys like
Oh no.
playing the humans.
No, that is horrifying.
No, I mean, if they're gonna do it, Wall-E, Incredibles, Up. I think those are the best ones. But even then, the reason they work so well, like honestly, like the problem with these live action ones is it takes away, like Lion King. My biggest issue with it was it took away the personality of the animation. So, and that's the reason I actually thought Aladdin worked way better, was because they made it a cartoon. You know what I mean? Just a live action cartoon. So I don't know. Like then they just announced the Snow Queen 2, which is pretty much Frozen, and I'm just like, stop. Just do the Atlantis. If Atlantis works, give me some Treasure Planet. Do the sequels.
I think
Hey,
those two,
I got dibs on Treasure Planet. Don't
know.
you
I think-
make
well-
Treasure Planet till I get there.
Well,
I think
I'm telling you
Atlantis
right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Atlantis doesn't succeed, we're never getting Treasure Planet.
We are, because I'm getting there. Give me time.
No, we're gonna get like 30 fucking Beauty and the Beast movies.
I
Yeah,
like
just keep
Beauty and the Beast
redoing
live
it.
action.
I didn't.
All right, next question. Who would you guys cast as Adam Warlock for the MCU? I mean, I got two answers. One of them is obvious. Zac Efron would be a great choice.
That's mine. Yeah.
Or Dan Stevens. I could totally see Dan Stevens killing
Both
it.
of them are great. Both of them are great. I'd choose Zac Efron though. I think it's
Mhm.
shocking he does not have a superhero role yet.
Yeah,
Now that
I
you
agree.
guys put Zac Efron in my mind, I can't think of anyone else aside from him being that character.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he
Totally.
looks great, and he's clearly got the chops.
Yeah.
Who would you guys rather see? Spider-Man 4 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3? Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man. Wait. Oh, he means like Toby. For as long as Raimi's directing it,
I mean,
but at the same time, I'm also curious to see where they would gone with Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I want to say Amazing Spider-Man 3 because I want to know where they were going to go. Plus, I wanted to see the inception or the final, like, you know, all of the Sinister Six finally coming together.
Yeah.
Because of all the weird, like, I liked the, like, almost grounded tech. Again, it was way over the top with the Rhino suit and stuff.
I am the Rhino.
But it was like they weren't superpowers. It was more of like
Yeah.
tech.
When do you guys think the Sinister Six will show up in the MCU? Next film or after?
No. I mean,
Jeez.
they will be. The seeds will be planted in the next film if that's the plan. But I don't think they'll show up in the next film.
And do you guys think they'll get their own spin-off film first?
I hope not.
Because Drew Goddard. Here's the thing: I was against it until Drew Goddard was on board writing it. He's a fantastic writer.
I agree,
So-
but the very idea of having Sinister Six spin-offs it's unnecessary.
I think it works after Spider-Man.
Mhm.
I think it works after they fight Spider-Man.
Yeah,
But
but wouldn't they all have to have shown up at least once? I mean, because we got the Vulture, we apparently have the Scorpion. Who else do we have? We have Mysterio.
Vulture, Scorpion, Mysterio,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna do Venom and Morbius and probably Shocker. Well, actually, take out Shocker. They'll probably do whoever's the villain for this next film, which is
Mhm.
most likely gonna be Kraven.
Because then
Yes.
after that fact, since they're all, you know, in this universe and set up, I think that's when they could potentially.
And that's the thing, is who's getting them together, and that's why I think they have to introduce Norman in the next one. Norman has to be some way, shape, or form involved in the next one.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mysterio. Mysterio could be
Mysterio, yeah.
because he's dead. I'm being serious though. If they really did kill him off, that's the stupidest fucking choice they could have ever
Yeah,
done.
I think they
absolutely
really
agree.
did kill him off, but he's still going to exist as a computer program because you see the guy
Really?
taking a hard drive with all the illusions. So I think that guy who was supposedly in the first Iron Man is going to be the Mysterio behind the scenes, but he's going to have
No.
an image of Jake Gyllenhaal and whatever in the front
I
lines.
hate that idea. I hate
It just
that
feels
fucking
like there's
idea.
not a threat then because it's all fake.
That's what Mysterio
Yeah,
is.
I
That's
get
what
it.
Mysterio is,
I
though.
Yeah.
know.
So I don't know. It's really interesting to see what they do coming after Far From Home. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm also really excited because it seems the third Spider-Man film is always where they fuck it up.
That's true.
And I don't know.
Ren, you know comics quite a bit. Have they ever done a line where everyone knows who Peter Parker / Spider-Man is?
Ooh, that's tough to say because I've read a lot, but I haven't read everything. But
Okay.
most of the times, like the villains that use their brains, like Doctor Octopus, Norman Osborn, sometimes Mysterio, they know, but I can't remember off the top of my head why. But they have their own interests as to why not reveal his
Yeah.
identity.
Because like Zach was saying, what do you do? Everyone knows who you are now, so it's
Everyone knows who everyone is in this world, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, with the Registration Act and all that crap, but I don't know. It's weird where they're gonna go with this.
I don't see them like making it. I'm gonna be honest. I think that gets solved in the first 20 minutes.
You really just be like, whatever.
That I'm very nervous about that. I hope not. I really hope it's a big integral part to the story.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, I think it just depends on Morbius and Venom. I think we'll figure out in Morbius and Venom if it's going to be a bigger part. Because since those are kind of taking place around the time, if we don't get a Morbius saying, oh, Peter Parker. Because I think I said this I don't remember if Jared was on the podcast or not when I mentioned that. I think the end of Venom 2, we do get a tease of Peter Parker. And I think they're going to come together and be like, hey, we're an anti-hero. Let's go stop this evil Spider-Man in New York.
Yeah,
that's my thought on it.
Maybe. Sorry. Scott Clune asks, what two actors would you put together as sibling roles that have never worked together and they can't be real siblings? I'd put Leo and Chris Pratt together in noir thriller with elements of comedy.
I like that. I like that
too. I'd put, correct me if they have worked together before, but I'd put Ryan Gosling and Mahershala Ali.
That's a good
I don't know what genre, but I'd put them two together.
I'd like that. For me, it would be Ewan McGregor and Ryan Gosling.
Ooh,
I like that. I think that they were in that movie Life together, but they weren't siblings. But Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh, I think that'd be a good one.
They'd work pretty well together.
I agree. All right, another pitch. Pitch a movie with Ryan Reynolds and Margot Robbie in a movie together, not as their comic book characters. What genre would you want it to be?
Drama.
I want it to be a romantic comedy, rated R, in which I play Ryan Reynolds, and that's my pitch.
Why is it rated R?
For science.
For science.
I hate that. God. For me, drama. I think they'd both kill it in a drama. I want to see Ryan Reynolds' chops a little more.
Is it rated R as well?
No, it's gonna be G.
Okay, but do I play Ryan Reynolds still?
No.
You're
Damn
his
it.
stand-in.
You play the person who holds the camera.
I'm a director. I don't hold the camera.
No, you're gonna hold the camera.
How about you, Jared?
I mean, obviously Ryan Reynolds in comedy. That's the way I'm leaning. So has Margot Robbie done a straight up comedy yet? I mean, I, Tonya had comedy elements.
Yeah, but no.
Wisco Tango Foxtrot, I would say, is
Okay.
a comedy. So technically, yes.
Kind of. I don't know. I feel like those two would work very well in like a quick talking comedy of some sort. I don't know what. For some reason, I'm like, just Friends too, and it's like that's just stupid.
I hate that fucking movie. I hate that fucking movie. I've never fucking gotten.
Do you like what's the other one he did
Proposal?
with? No, the one with Rachel Weisz. He has the little daughter, and she has to find out who the mom is.
Definitely, maybe.
Definitely, maybe.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Okay, I really like that one. Did you say which one you'd like to see, Jared?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Will you guys be giving the new Blade movie a chance? Do you think there's going to be a lot of hate with this? I don't think.
No.
Why would there be hate? I'm going to see it.
I think everyone's open. I think everyone's very open to this one. I think there will be no. I think it's been enough time. I think the only thing that could possibly get hate in the MCU at this point is the X-Men. I think, especially when it comes to Wolverine, I think that's honestly the only role they have to worry about casting. Which I'm ready to bet. I'm think 60% chance it's Taron Egerton who plays him.
Yeah. Well,
just because he was like pretty much came out and said that like that's who I'd want to play him.
Yeah, with them doing the X-Men again, it might not be till Phase 5 or whatever. Do you want them to completely switch it up where the Wolverine isn't like the head honcho? Because
I don't want him to be.
Yeah, I kind of want them to switch it up and maybe bring someone else into the fold.
I'm gonna be honest. I want them. I really want them to take their time with this and explore these characters in other films. So like have Storm and Black Panther have this in this film, and then maybe Phase 6 you bring the X-Men together.
That I think that would make the most, like, it would feel like it was a complete world rather than be like, hey, here's 5 to 10 people that we didn't know about, you know?
Yeah, and I'm really wondering, the only character I'm actually the most curious about what they do is Magneto, because he is so tied to World War II. What do you do with this character?
They're going to change it to another big massacre.
Which I fucking hate that. I hate that.
Why?
I hate that. I think it needs to be World War II.
I don't think it does. I just think it needs to be a big event in which there's a big human massacre and we see the worst of humanity. That's all he needs to be exposed to.
So, Battle of New York.
Yes. I mean, it could be.
That really could be.
But I think he has to be a kid when he witnesses it. So I don't know. Somewhere in the 80s, 90s. 90s is a bit too late. So maybe 80s.
He would even be too old then. Like, Zach, I like the fact that, World War II and, like, everything that happened with his past and everything. I'm trying to think of a war like that and a tragedy, and the most recent one I could think of would be, like, the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Even then, it would put him at, like, 50 years old.
I mean, I think 50 is okay.
They want to go with him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like the Rwandan suicide. They could have a Black Magneto.
Or
genocide, not suicide.
Or, to be honest, they go multiverse. It's a different universe.
It could be a multiverse within the MCU. I wouldn't mind that at all.
And I think Doctor Strange is going to give us a lot more answers.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think Scott Derrickson didn't want it to be one of those movies. They obviously want it to be one of those movies.
We definitely got off topic, but referring to the Blade thing, my opinion on it, when they announced everything, Blade was the one that I'm like, I need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Phase 4 looks great and everything, but I was like, I need to see this movie. So
I think he shows up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I hope. And it's just, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I hope that it does amazing because they can do so many like different things with that character, opening up doors of potentially, I wouldn't say horror type superheroes, but more kind of darker material that we haven't potentially seen.
Well, and I think if Moon Knight ends up filming next year, I won't be surprised if we hear Mahershala Ali is in it too.
That would be really cool.
Do they have a past in the comics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Moon Knight deals, and it's rumored that Moon Knight's main villain is going to be the Werewolf Man or whatever, Wereman, or I don't remember.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah. So it's rumored that he's going to be the main villain for Moon Knight, which would then tie in Blade pretty well. So, I think it's just interesting. I don't think we're going to really get. I don't think anyone's against the MCU. I mean, that's the honest truth.
No.
I agree. Scott Luna asks, is there any movie with such a great potential and an amazing premise that just shit the bed for you and could have been amazing if done proper? I feel Pixar's could have been great, but not with Adam Sandler. Suicide Squad.
I agree with Pixels. I
agree too.
There's a really cool short film for that. Honestly, Hellboy, the new one.
Yeah,
it's a whole studio problem. I really think that could have been great. I think Fantastic Four.
100%.
Serenity with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. Really great concept. I mean, honestly, that was a really great concept.
Dude, they swung for the fences.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% swung for the fences.
Yeah. Jared, what do you think?
Again, I would have to like sit down and really stew with this one. But yeah, some of the ones that Zach mentioned. I mean, the Pixels one, it feels like that should have been like a just perfect setup for like all of these kids, bringing in retro gaming, just gamers in general. but it just fell like I don't even think I've seen the film. I've watched maybe 10 minutes of it. It just it did everything wrong, and it had such great
Every Adam
like
Sandler film
everything
does
going
everything
for
wrong.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I know Zach has to go in a little bit, and we still have a lot of questions. So
No,
let's
we'll
go.
keep taking the questions. It's fine.
Yeah, so let's go through it a little bit faster. Who's an overrated actor and actress for you guys? I don't know actress, but for me, overrated George Clooney. Easy.
I don't have I don't have one for that. There's not one that I'm like, ugh, really? Oh, actress though, Hilary Swank.
Okay.
I do not like her.
I'm
She
gonna
ruins
say
movies.
I don't even know if she's rated. Rebel Wilson.
Mm.
Just throw her away.
Guys.
She's fallen into that Melissa McCarthy vein.
Yeah. Okay, I want to know if you guys get this reference. Hilary Swank, hot or not hot?
I think Office.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay,
I
now
got
an underrated actor or actress.
I mean Kristen Stewart, Rachel McAdams. I would also say. I'd also, as an actor wise, I'd probably put Robert Pattinson. I still don't think people believe him. I really don't.
I agree.
Adam Driver. I when it comes to top 10, I
100%.
think he's top 10.
Yeah, I agree there. I would also say John C. Reilly as a dramatic actor. He's really
100.
underrated.
Dude,
That
he's in
cowboy movie he
everything.
did with Phoenix is fucking incredible.
The Sisters
Sisters
Brothers is so good. Have you seen The Sisters Brothers, Jared?
No,
If you have
it keeps
Hulu, I think
popping
it's
up.
on Hulu. I think it's
It
on
keeps
Hulu.
popping
I
up
think
for
you'd
me.
love it, dude. I think
So
you'd
good.
love it.
He should have been nominated that year for Best Supporting Actor for that movie.
I agree.
Yeah, he was that good.
Okay. Scott Luna says, what genre that you like would you like to see make a bigger comeback? I adore real sports movies, and we've had The Way Back, Ford v Ferrari, and 2 Creeds last few years. And I loved more from it, to be honest. I say fantasy, like big, good fantasy.
Like Dune.
Like Dune. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Star Wars. Star Wars is not sci-fi.
Yeah. Or like, can I say good fantasy? Because they had Mortal
Yeah.
Engines. Like I think yeah.
You mean Star Wars ripoff? That was the genre.
I will say though, that's a film that going back had a really good premise. It just wasn't executed right at all.
I agree. Jared, did you give your answer? You didn't.
I don't know. For some reason, I really, really love like suspense thrillers, and I don't know if we've really gotten any great ones in the last 5 years.
That is true. Oh, another one, Crime Noirs.
Yes.
Crime noirs, yes, I agree. Okay, I'm interested in this question because I think I'm going to have the unpopular opinion on it. Jico Porter asks, with the whole controversy, quote marks, on Scoob about this topic, what are your thoughts on animated movies always getting celebrities to do their voices instead of using professional voice actors? Okay, the question isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, so forget what I said. Yeah,
it's pretty much about what do we... Okay, so Scoob, I liked Scoob a lot. I literally think it feels like a classic Hanna-Barbera property. Like, besides the stupid poppy music and some of the stuff in there, but that's like in almost every animated film besides Disney and Pixar at this point. So I just take it as what it is. When it comes to the voice actors, per se, I mean, my biggest problem with Scoob was the voice of Shaggy. I didn't think Will Forte fit. I really 100%. I didn't think it fit fucking at all. It was the one thing that bothered me throughout the whole entire movie. And I think I was finally good with it towards the end, but all I heard was Will Forte. And I didn't even know he was in the film. I didn't know who was voicing who until I watched the movie. Like, I'd stayed that far away from the movie.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, though, I think I get why they do it. It's a marketing thing. And I know some people will be like, well, people don't go. It's a marketing thing. It's a 100% marketing. You say Zac Efron, Gina Rodriguez, all these big stars are going to be in the Scooby-Doo movie, and you're an adult and you watch those shows. Well, yeah, I'll watch it with my kid. I'll buy it for my kid. That's why. But I will say Matthew Lillard should have voiced Shaggy. I think 100%. There are times, like, you got the same guy to voice Scooby-Doo. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, the two most iconic voices, why wouldn't you just do the same thing? So I think it's tricky, but it depends on the property, personally. So, you guys...
Jared?
I didn't see Scoob, actually, but I know that from the trailers I'd watched, it was a little jarring. So I was like, oh, maybe watching the film, you would get used to all of these voices. I mean, it sounds like Zach. Some of them landed, some of them didn't. But
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't know how much of a legacy these voice actors and actresses had. And then to basically open up the newspaper, open up a website one day and be like, oh, they're making a movie that I'm not in. Like, it's very disheartening for those people that are essentially are the character, that I'm sure go to all of these cons and stuff and do voice panels and all of this other stuff. It's just like, well, do you want me to come back now? Like, I mean, I need to work and make money, but like, you didn't let me be in the movie. You're letting me be in the TV. It sucks.
I mean,
Well,
I
that's
actually,
the thing. Well, sorry. There's a rumor that the Scoob was supposed to set up a new show for HBO Max. You are not going to get Jason Isaacs or
For
freaking
cheap,
Zac
yeah.
Efron and stuff to do those shows. So, like, why wouldn't you just bring them back? Maybe fill in some. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Well, yeah, and if they did a show like that, think about how much of a slap to the face. Hey, you can't be in the movie, but you can be on this show. Again, it's money. It really is where you stand, but ugh.
I mean, I quite liked Will Forte as Shaggy. I actually did not know that Matthew Lillard had voiced Shaggy in all the direct-to-DVD animated movies like Jared until I saw like the video. And honestly, it sucks. Yes, it sucks that you love this character so much, you did so much for this character for so many movies, and then they quote-unquote replaced you. But it happens all the time. I really don't know why this was news, because Matthew Lillard replaced someone who was voicing Shaggy before. And I get that it sucks, but I still don't get the whole controversy that was created. That's the part that really bothers me, because at some point a guy was replaced by Matthew Lillard. Now it's just someone else. It's a new version that is replaced.
I think the voice before Matthew Lillard was Casey Kasem, and I think he passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which he did.
I mean, but for other characters, I'm sure it's like that, where they potentially aged out, or they're like, we need to get a new talent in here.
Okay. I did not know that. I stand corrected. But yeah, I liked Will Forte, but I think the one, not only Jason Isaacs as a villain, who again, I'm not going to say who it is because it was a huge surprise for me, but Zac Efron as Fred. I mean, yes,
dude, I thought he was really good.
He was amazing. You can put pretty much anyone in there, but the fact that you put Zac Efron was like perfect.
I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't even tell it was him.
Really?
There was two lines where in particular I was like, all right, that's Zac Efron. But even Gina Rodriguez, I couldn't tell it was her either. I had to literally look up.
I also couldn't tell it was her, but I don't really recognize her voice. You know, the one I couldn't tell it was her was Amanda Seyfried. I had no idea that was Amanda Seyfried. What chick flick are you afraid to admit you like? For me, it's Bring It On, Legally Blonde, and 13 going on 30. I don't think I've seen Bring It On. I've never seen Legally Blonde. 13 going on 30, I like. For me, it's Dirty Dancing, 100%.
Chick flick, Twilight.
All of them or the first one?
They're all fine.
Okay.
They're all fun.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit. I mean, Bring It On. I used to watch that
Bring It
all
On's
the time.
fun.
I used to watch that all the time growing up.
13 on going on 30, great.
Yep, that one's great. I used to watch 27 Dresses a lot in college.
Are you going to tell us about something else about yourself then?
Don't worry about it. We don't have enough time here.
Off the record.
Yes.
It's okay.
If Spider-Man gave Quill song suggestions for Zune when he was on Earth, what songs from the 90s to now would you put on Awesome Mix Volume 3?
I gotta say, there has to be a Queen song.
That has to be a Queen song. That has to be a Run DMC song. That has to be
Aerosmith. I would love to see
there
that.
has to be at least one boy band one and one pop female star.
That is true.
Yes.
So I think it would be what's the boy band song?
Backstreet Boys, You Are My Fire.
Yes. That's the one. But you know what's funny? James Gunn is very protective of those musics.
Oh,
we're not. I don't think we're gonna get a boy band or anything like that.
I agree.
I really don't.
It'll probably be, obviously it's going to be an iconic song from that era, but it probably isn't going to be like one that's like one that you have just completely forgotten about.
Probably think around, because we obviously got to tease what the Zune has in 2, a little bit of 2 and 3. So I would take, or not 3, but Avengers when we see him, Rubber Band Man. So I think that's the era we kind of got to think of what songs are on there, personally.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Scott Clune asks, what movie did you want a sequel but never got one? I always wanted a sequel to Labyrinth, but obviously you can't have Bowie. I think it could be done in how Netflix did the Dark Crystal film and show. I still haven't seen the show.
The show was fucking incredible. It's so fucking good.
I'm going to say that the 2017 Power Rangers, John Carter, Real Steel, Dread. There are so many, dude.
Can I be honest? I've never seen Dread.
Oh my god, you gotta
I own it. I own it. I've just not because I heard it was like the Raid, so I'm like, oh, I watched the Raid already.
And see, I'm wondering if that will taint it a little bit for you because I hadn't seen the Raid before it.
Oh, okay, because I've seen the Raid like 1,000 times.
But this movie was being made before the Raid.
Yeah,
I can guarantee that.
Sequel-wise, Shane Black's Predator. I didn't love it, but I wanted a sequel to it. I can definitely fucking tell you that because the sequel would have had Arnold in it, and I really fucking wanted that.
I'd be back.
Iron Giant, of course, Treasure Planet, of course, Atlantis. I want a spin-off of Gaston from the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Ready Player One, I don't think we're ever going to get a sequel to, but I really kill for a Zemeckis-directed Ready Player One too.
That'd be awesome.
And then I think the third director should be Denis Villeneuve, or Nolan. Just do like these iconic directors going through. Oh, that's tough. There's another one. Blade Runner 2049. I would have killed for a sequel to that.
Get another, what is it? What 30 years? Every 30 years we get one.
Maybe.
Yeah. The next one will start the son of Elon Musk as the main character.
The next one I would want those Man of Steel. I mean,
Ren, the Real Steel. I really like that.
Real Steel, so
I think it'd be cool to get a second one. But the Nice Guys get a
Guys.
They had like tons of they had tons of them planned. They had Shane Black said he had scripts written.
Yeah, I went into that expecting one thing, got something completely different. I was so happy by it.
Yeah, that was so good. Scott Clune asks, what movie do you adore from your least favorite genre? I'm not the biggest fan of musicals. I like some, but not many, but I adore La La Land. It's a masterpiece for me. How about you guys?
Scott Clune said mine.
I don't have a least favorite genre, to be honest. I mean,
mine's musical.
I guess it's... I personally don't consider it a genre, but I'd say documentary is my least favorite genre. Three Identical Strangers, probably off the top of my head, is a great documentary.
That one's wild.
Andy Samberg needs to play the movie version of those.
Oh yeah, that would actually work really well.
And I wouldn't have said that until after I saw Palm Springs, which is a straight comedy, but there's a lot of dramatic stuff in there. Which I can't say this enough. I know we all watch trailers, well, except you, Ren. When the trailer comes out for that movie, no one watch it. No one watch it. They're going to spoil the shit out of that movie. I already know. They're going to spoil the concept. They're going to spoil everything about that movie when that trailer comes out. I already know they're going to because the actual concept and synopsis doesn't happen until probably midway through the movie.
Oh, okay. But have you seen it too, Jared?
I have not. Zach, did you see that at Sundance?
Yeah, it was at Sundance.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would say my genre that is very much I'm getting slowly into it is horror. I used to watch Wrong Turn all the time. I have no idea why. It's not good. It is campy as all hell, but I used to watch that all the time.
I've never seen that.
Just so everyone knows, Disney just announced a new show for Disney Plus.
What is it? Is it the Muppets one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw that before the show. Muppets.
And they just showed a new Artemis Fowl trailer.
Oh, okay. A clip came out yesterday for that.
Yeah. I'm not watching anything for that movie. I'm actually really excited for that movie.
Yeah, same. This is not a question, but there's a specific compliment to Jared. Patrick Burrow, our friend from Australia, says it's 1:40 a.m. and I've been sitting here for 10 minutes trying to think of a comment, but I'm so hyped up on Red Bull and coffee I can't think anything straight, especially looking at Jared's gorgeous mustache.
Oh my God, Patrick!
There you go.
I'm following Ren's lead. You know, I had to find someone to model it after.
I don't blame you.
Grow a mustache, Zach. We got all of mustaches.
I have one. I just gotta shave everything else, but I'm not going to.
Scott Clune asks, are there any TV shows that you adore that you would recommend to everyone to watch? Ren, I know you love Gavin and Stacey. Yes, I do. I went to Wales specifically because of that show. As much as I do, and it's a hilarious show with relatable characters. I can recommend to you guys, Gavin and Stacey, because I bet you haven't seen it. Recently, I watched Dead to Me on Netflix. The second season is even better than the first season. And Ricky Gervais's Afterlife is a work of genius.
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Oh, my turn. Barry. Fucking watch Barry. 100%.
Still gotta watch the second
Best
season.
show on television. Besides Barry, Dark Crystal, I just mentioned I loved so much. What a fantastic show that was. I mean, it's Game of Thrones for kids. I mean, that's really the truth.
Wow.
It's
Throw that
literally
on a poster.
you take out the sex and the nudity of. I mean, it's pretty much Game of Thrones. The action's really filmed well done. The Witcher, love The Witcher.
Which was awesome.
Ozark, probably the best television. Season 3 was probably the best television I've watched since the last season of Breaking Bad. And Better Call Saul is the most underrated show on television right now. The fact that nobody's watching, like literally, it's only staying alive because AMC likes the show. That is straight, and the ratings are terrible for that show, but that is a show that's going to live on Netflix.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to catch up on all that because that's what I did with Breaking Bad. I never watched it until the last half of the last season, and then I completely caught up. So hopefully I can do that with.
So I'll
Better
say,
Call
you know how
Saul.
Breaking Bad starts really slow?
Yeah.
Really slow. Better Call Saul is the same way. So you know how Breaking Bad every season got better? Better Call Saul is the same way. Like Better Call Saul's last season was straight up just as good as Breaking Bad. And they took one line from Breaking Bad and made it into a whole entire season. Like introduced a whole entire concept, which makes there's one line where Walt and Jesse, I don't know if you remember when they kidnapped Saul and put a bag over his head, and Saul's sitting there over the ditch, and he's like, it wasn't me, I swear it was Ignacio. Lalo, please don't kill me. That one little thing is all season 5. That's all season 5's about.
Yeah,
is that whole thing.
So hopefully I can catch up on that. But as for TV for myself, I don't watch too much. But The Witcher, I very much really like that. I want them to do more because of the weird creatures and lore and everything in that. But Dave on Hulu or FX,
I need to watch
guess,
that.
If
I
you
need to
haven't
watch that.
watched it, it is so funny. It's following like Little Dicky in this like faux, like his life, but it's like very much dramatized.
I need
but
to
it
watch
is
that.
So funny.
I need to watch that and What We Do in the Shadows show.
I finished season 1 last night. It's awesome. I love
Is
the
it
show
better
more
than
than
the
I
movie?
love the movie. Yes.
Really, I love
Yes.
the movie. So
I
need to see it.
rewatched the movie. I rewatched the movie on Saturday. I never really enjoyed that movie. I liked it more this time that I watched it, but I only just like it. The TV show I love. Episode 7 of the first season. My God, it's so good.
That's the one with all the
So good.
vampires, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check that out.
When I was at
Comic
Comic-Con, that was like the biggest discussion. Really? You didn't like the movie? Oh, fuck, dude. That's my favorite movie from Taika.
I didn't like the movie the first time I watched it either. Yeah.
Dude, I watched that like 2 years ago for the first time, and I was fucking howling.
Dude, you're going to die with the TV show then. Seriously.
Okay. I'm excited then.
Patrick Burrow asks, what is your most awkward cinema going experience? Mine is an early screening of 50 Shades Freed, where my reserved seat was next to my year 8 business teacher. I was in year 11 when this happened.
Nice.
The most awkward cinema experience was when I got up really early to go watch Valerian, and a couple was fucking right behind my seat. Like,
Oh my God.
What?
Like you could completely hearing them moan. And I
What
was just
the
like,
fuck?
was trying really hard not to listen. Like, I just wanted to watch the movie. And I think it got to the midpoint where I had to leave, go tell the manager. And then they just let me go to a different theater that was playing it soon.
What the fuck?
And then there was an older man
speechless.
snore. Dude, this was like at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Who be fucking at 10 a.m. in a theater?
Who got up and had that thought? And it's not even like the movie was like midway through and they said, no, it was like maybe like 20 minutes in.
Oh my God. What
It was pretty awkward.
Wow.
And what do I say? Like, I just turned around and see them like getting on each other. I'm like, cool.
Let me know when it's my turn.
And then when I this isn't a cinema thing, but when I worked at this place, there was a movie room. It was like it's kind of like a giant Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the place because. So I remember there was this giant movie room that they only played kids films. Okay.
You'll tell us when the cameras are off.
Yeah, and so I went into the corner, like I was sweeping, and I dropped something. I turned and I looked
No.
under, and under the table was a girl jacking off a dude.
Oh my god.
And this is in a kid's place. So I went and told my manager, and my
Fetish.
manager looked too, and she goes, and she's Mormon. Dude, she kicked them the fuck out so fast.
Oh
How
my
old
And they
God.
had
Were
kids
they,
there.
like,
They had
teens?
kids there. Yeah, they were probably like late 20s, but they have kids
Oh
there.
my
They had
God.
kids playing around.
What?
Jared, dude, can you top that?
I haven't had any sexual experiences like that in the movie theater.
Thank God.
Yeah, luckily. Two of them. One was I went to see Fantasy Island, awful movie.
Yep.
In the morning, it was like a 10 o'clock showing, and there was a couple that they were like they must have worked the night shift or something. And it was like a date time. She was eating popcorn and licking her fingers like, and then she fell asleep and started snoring. So I guess it wasn't awkward. It was just very annoying.
Yeah.
Another one.
fucking
This
hate
is
people.
like one of my worst experiences. Went into a movie theater. I was like, oh my god, there's like no like the best seats. No one's sitting there. So I sat down, and I'm eating my popcorn. I'm like, man, this popcorn either smells really good or really bad. And then I found out the reason no one was sitting in those spots was because someone had thrown up on all of the seats.
Oh my
Luckily,
God.
I had sat right next to the one where the puke started, but I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
there was this fight that broke out when I saw Woman in... Was it The Woman in Black? The one with Daniel Radcliffe, the horror film? So I remember we went at like a 10 o'clock screening, and you know those little poppers you throw that explode?
Mm-hmm.
Someone threw one at a girl's hair, and it was a weave, and it like got like tugged on or something, and she jumped up and she's like, who the fuck was that? And they just started fist fighting in the middle of this fucking movie.
Oh my god!
Holy
At first, I thought
shit.
you were gonna say her hair lit on fire.
Oh, that would have been even funnier.
To me,
Wow.
it wasn't 50 Shades Freed. It was the second one, Darker. I went to an early screening as well. Like it was coming out on Valentine's Day. I went like the night before a special exclusive screening, and it was packed. I mean, packed. Mostly women. And every time an incredibly sensual sex scene was about to
Oh,
start,
no.
as we know, they'd be like, woohoo! Like the whole theater, like they were at a concert, and the singer said, what's up, random city, whatever. And they were freaking out. I was afraid of what was going to start. What was even more awkward, at least for me, was when the movie ended, the lights went up, everybody was leaving. And as I looked at the rows, cucumbers
Yes.
were wet on the floor.
Yes.
And I dashed out.
Did you grab one?
No,
And made a nice salad afterwards.
though some of them had condoms around them for some reason.
That's so fucking gross.
Oh,
That's
It's
just
and
disgusting,
The
dude.
thing is, I've heard like for those when those movies were big and out in theaters and everything, I heard that happened in a lot
Yeah.
of theaters.
Yeah, it happened all the time. I was just shocked because I had no idea what was going to happen there in my small country, my small town. It just.
Yikes.
So Gico EP asks, if they made Ted 3, which I love to see, how would you pitch it, and how will Charlize Theron be in it, since A Million Ways to Die and The Orville, they have like a David O. Russell J. Law relationship. I don't know how to pitch it. To me, she'd be in it like they... Remember how Mila Kunis just disappears from the
Yep.
first one to the second one? I just
I
make
hated
it...
that. I hated that.
Same.
I
But
literally fucking hated that.
I would just make it a meta joke that Amanda Seyfried has now disappeared, and now
Yep.
it's Charlize Theron.
That's exactly
that's how
what
I
I
would do
would
it
have done.
too. Yeah. I think they should make another Ted.
I would love to see it.
Is that a Warner Brothers film? Because I could see him doing a show.
No, it's Universal.
They should still do
Yeah.
a show.
I agree. No time had a brilliant. He means in time. Had a brilliant premise. I would love a show of that, more fleshed out, with Aaron Paul playing the main character. That would actually be pretty good. I like that movie, the one with Justin Timberlake and
I agree.
again Amanda Seyfried.
Seyfried,
I
yeah.
agree. Ren, what do you think? We take 2 more questions?
Yeah, we're going to take 2 more questions. Let's take this next one from Jacob Ender's Reviews. Is there a video game movie that we haven't gotten that you guys think could make an awesome movie? For me, it would be Halo, if they could finally get it off the ground and do this series justice. Why don't you guys answer, and I'm going to select which is going to be the last question.
Zach, do you have
I mean, Bioshock.
Yep.
I mean, Halo, for me, it's getting a show on Showtime. So, like, I
Hmm.
understand, but Bioshock, definitely.
As for Bioshock, I almost feel like I would love like a seasons. Season 1 is kind of, the below, the season 2, like somehow branch it all out, because just getting a movie, I'm like, there's so much in that world that you can really explore.
I think I haven't played it, but I'd love to see Bioshock as well. To be honest, I think God of War is my favorite movie of all, my favorite game of all time. I would love to see it, but it works much better as a show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think every video game works better as a show. It's very rare when they would work better as a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go with this one. The last question that came in. Who's an actor and actress you like but people hate? For me, it's Cameron Diaz. I'm sure she's made some bad movies, but I don't hate her. I think she is talented. I don't know actors that people hate, to be honest.
There's
I
so
like
many
Brie
people
Larson.
hate. Yeah, I mean, I like Brie Larson too.
Yeah, I think that's one. Jared, do you have any off the top of your head?
Brie Larson, for some reason, I don't even know why people hate her, but yeah, that comes up in kind of the main person. But it's like, I don't know who people hate and who people don't hate.
Yeah. I'll get another one since we can answer this. Least favorite movie from an MCU actor. None of the MCU movies count. For me, Shaggy Dog with Robert Downey Jr. and Rough Night with Scarlett Johansson. Black Hat with Chris Hemsworth.
Oof.
Probably for me. Or no. Old Boy with Josh Brolin and Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's the one. I haven't
God.
seen the whole
You're hitting
thing.
two people there too.
I mean, 2 for 1 punch.
Doolittle.
Ooh.
I didn't hate Doolittle. It's bad, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think like out of the people that are in the MCU, it's kind of like I feel like RDJ has quite a backlog of stuff, and the Shaggy Dog, Doolittle. I'm trying to think of. Has Chris Evans had anything that's really completely flopped?
Fantastic Four, I guess. Off the top of my head, that's the one I remember. Yeah,
Storm.
I agree. I don't remember him having something that's like universally panned, to be honest.
Yeah, he's probably the best one out of all of them.
Yeah, probably. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, for all the awesome questions. We apologize for not answering them all, but we'll do this once again in the future. Thank you, everyone, for being here. G. Colby, to Scott Cluna, to Jacob Anders, to someone else, to Patrick Burrow, to Demonicion Scott. I apologize for butchering the name again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jared, for joining us last minute. I saw that you were watching. I was like, why not join us?
No, thank you guys for having me on. Again, I was just jumping in the chat. I was doing some editing, and I was like, you know what? I'll listen to these chaps just talk about some movies and stuff. So thank you for inviting me on.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for being on here. Yeah, we love you, and it will always be funnier with you in it than with you not on it.
I know.
Zach, I love you too, my friend. Jared, where can the people find you?
Oh, yeah. People can find me on YouTube at JBuck Studios, or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Jared Buckendahl. I'm doing all of what you guys are doing, so jump over there. You guys were on like a live podcast myself or my own. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. Zach, where can the people find you, and what do you have coming up?
You guys can find me over on YouTube at Zach Pope Reviews. You just type in Zach Pope, you find me over there. Things coming up. I'm planning on doing a Last of Us video. I'm still debating on how I want to do it, though. There's like 2 things that I want to discuss in it. Maybe you guys can help me real fast. I want to do a video venting about why people should not be pre-ordering this game and judging it by the leaks. But I also want to do a video talking about why it's perfect, why the first one is a perfect game, and kind of intersect those. Should I do 2 videos? Should I do 1? I'm thinking
I think
1.
2 videos.
You do?
Yeah.
It's just tough for me because, like, as I was like scripting it out, I was like, the thing is like a lot of my reasons for feeling like we shouldn't be pissed at the leaks is because the first one is, for me, a perfect game. It's my favorite game of all time.
But if you make 2, you can have 2 more focused videos, but do why the first one is perfect first, and then follow it up.
If you could find a unique hook to combine the two, because it does seem like they're very much almost differing opinions.
Because the second one straight up, like me venting about this fucking leak would, because I've read the leaks. Like I just got tired of people spoiling, so I just fucking read the leaks.
Stop reading stuff, man.
I said fuck it. I got spoiled 3 times. I said I'm just gonna read them at this point. And honestly, like it's just like I don't know how they get there. That's why I'm still intrigued with what's going on. Like I mean, Endgame. I was spoiled on Endgame. I knew that everyone was gonna come back at the end. I knew it. I saw a picture of the lineup, and I was so pissed. So I was like,
I'm happy I didn't see that.
The whole film, I'm sitting there like, all right, no Scarlet Witch is gonna come back somehow. So how the fuck is she gonna come back? So that's just how it works. People suck. So no, but thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that. And then someone just asked, is that the one you would want as a movie? No, I want it as a show. Yeah,
and it's happening as a show. So you guys can find me everywhere around Geekness. I'm here on YouTube. I'm at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and this week apparently I'm reviewing The Lovebirds, which I only found out is coming out this week because these 2 gentlemen have already reviewed it. Damn it, Jared, you got a screener too. And I am preparing a review for the original Old Boy. I got inspired yesterday because I rewatched it, so that's coming very soon, probably during the weekend. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you once more for watching, for asking questions. Both you gentlemen, thank you for being on here with me. And until the next one, love each other and love the movies.
Bye!
Yay!